Hey guys, Lancy here. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks again for joining me. We'll look into some more MTG market movers for the day. So we're going to start off with Wafers Bauble from Forgotten Realms Commander sets. And obviously this card has been printed multiple times, but after every single thing that it's gone through, it is still probably one of the most useful cards in anything but green decks. And even in green decks, sometimes it can be useful because it does actually let you search for any basic land, and it is an artifact, which means you can bring it back into play, do artifact shenanigans with it. So it's probably going to balance out at the price that every other one of these has balanced out, around about $3.50. It might bring the card's value down a little bit, but it does look like over the next couple of days it's going to continue moving up until it matches the $3.50. We'll see what happens in the future. Next is Eye for an Eye from Arabian Nights. Now this card is not on the reserve list. It has been printed in 4th, 5th, revised edition. You can get it for as cheap as 48 cents. But obviously Arabian Nights is a very low printing set now. Very low amount of cards actually in circulation now. Most of it is going to be kept as collectibles or collector's edition. So if you want to get a card that's actually in black border, I think the rest of them are all in white, you're going to have to spend around about $27 for the market price. I think the premium is a bit too high. It really does depend on what you want to get from a card like this. Twilight Mia from Eventide. It has climbed pretty hard in the last couple of days. Ever since June 2021, it's seen a increase over the next couple of weeks after that. And right now it's sitting at $18. So you can actually get a double masters reprinting of this for $11.98. It does depend on if you want to get the original. Eventide was one of those sets that did not get many printings, and it was, I think, during the recession or something like 2011, so it may not have been bought as much as well. Anja's Ravager from Commander 2019. We've kept an eye on this card for the last 10 days, and it has gone up pretty much every single day since then. It is right now on this market price is $3.30. TCG Player, I'm pretty sure, is not accurate anymore, has never been reprinted. So we'll check out quickly what TCG Player says right now. $5.70 for a near mint. And that is the cheapest price you can get. So yes, not cheap anymore. Island of Wok from Arabian Nights. This card has climbed pretty considerably actually in the last couple of days. It is on the reserve list, no other printing of it. Tap to reduce target flying creature's power to 0. Not exactly that impressive. A land doesn't actually produce any mana, but there are some ways to make it do what it needs to. The market price has been $191, but the average price has been $2,014. I think that's mostly the premium edition. The near mints, obviously they're going to go for a lot more, because it is going to be hard to get near mint copies, $3,499, and that is the only one actually available as well. Prized Unicorn from Core Set 2020. This card is a strange one. I have no idea why it's moving up. Right now it is moving up by almost 20%, 33% today, but you can get way cheaper copies of this in Magic 2010, 2011, Magic Origins. So the premium edition for this card has really taken off, and I'm not too sure if it's actually worth it to even look into this. Blood Moon 9th edition. Once again, all of the Blood Moons have been moving up. This is no exception. It might be one of the latest ones that's moved up, but all of them are moving up thanks to Modern taking off again. You can see that the cheapest one right now is actually this one right here at $17. Every other one is above $17. Smoldering Marsh from Kaldheim. This card has been reprinted plenty of times. Any movement is probably just market noise at this point. Moving on. Defense Grid from 8th edition. This is a good artifact. Defense Grid is 2 colorless artifact. During each player's turn, each other player spells cost 3 more to play. It's actually really good. It stops people from trying to play spells during your turn. Sitting right now at $20 for TCG. The cheapest one is from Urza's Legacy at $28. Actually, sorry, the cheapest one is the 8th edition, so I would be surprised, really surprised, if this doesn't take off to at least match some of these prices, because I think people are just seeing the value of this. The 9th edition is already sitting at $28, so I'd expect this to move up to that as well. Teleportation Circle, this card has been slowly moving up since it's been showcased. Not a high jump or anything, but it is one of those important ones to keep an eye on. It is also a really good card. Sorcerer Queen from Arabian Nights. So we watched this card go for the last couple of days, and I'll be surprised if it continues going up. Like I said before, it's not on the reserve list. This is the only one with a black border. But outside of it being from Arabian Nights, the value is pretty much all in the fact that it is in the Arabian Nights set. And I just don't see any other value behind it, especially when you know that there's an 85 cents worth of version of it in 4th edition. Seat of the Synoid. Now, we did see this one pop up a couple of days ago, and it hasn't really been on the list because it hasn't gone up as much as some of the other things, but it went up by 20% today. And like I said, every other one of these reprintings, they're balanced out around about $1.77 to $2.90. So I feel like $1.20 on TCG, probably not accurate anymore. A market price of $1.81, I feel like it can probably go up to $2, maybe even $2.20. Lightning Greaves from Commander Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. I don't know why I said all of it, but Forgotten Realms. Forgotten Realms has reprinted a lot of Commander staples, especially in the Commander packs. This card is really valuable, really good in Commander. I feel like $4 is still kind of cheap for it, especially when you can see that almost every other price is above $6. We'll see if it balances out and drops maybe, or brings the average down on the other side as well. Dragonstorm from Modern Masters. Now that we have a dragon deck that's come out in Commander for Forgotten Realms, this card and most other dragon cards that haven't been reprinted are starting to take a bit of a jump. And I feel like this is a decent card for dragon decks that can get their mana out. It is actually probably one of the cards where if you have enough mana, you could probably get out 4 or 5 dragons in one turn and probably give them all haste and win the game that way. But we'll have to see. Moving on to standard MTG Goldfish movers and shakers. So we're going to have a look at the biggest movers. I think we can see right now Faceless Haven has moved up by another 14% today. Shadow Spear by another 4%. Goldspan Dragon by another 6%. No other big movers. Everything else that's dropped is from Forgotten Realms. For Modern, Liliana of the Veil jumping up by another 5% to now sit at 94.44. Defense Grid obviously moving up by 11% to sit at 24.37. Sulphurous Springs moving up by 10% to sit at $23. Chalice of the Void moving up by 6% to now sit at $52.36. The biggest drops, Elvish Piper dropping down by 18%. This is the 8th edition. I don't like that art, so that makes sense. Grave Pact is negative 4%. Coat of Arms dropping down by 8% as well. And Glimmer Void, same. Glimmer Void did go up in the last couple of days, so that makes sense for it to drop. Weekly changes, Darkness moving up by 81%, Blood Moon moving up by 45%. Yeah, and most of these, Sword of Hearth and Home from Forgotten Realms is dropping down by 13%. I wonder if people are finding some value in it, or if it's just gotten too many cards out there to start dropping. For Pioneer, the biggest gains are Clone Legion. That is a 9-mana expensive card, and Prized Unicorn obviously moving up by 20%. That one you had to keep an eye on, because there are plenty of other reprintings of Prized Unicorn. This one's specifically the M20 version. And the biggest drops, not many, but Final Revelation has dropped by 6%. Overall, the biggest gains for this week, Liliana Untouched by Death, and Pithing Needles, Clone Legion. Top losers, Notion Thief, but that card did go up by like almost 100% in the last couple of days. Elinda, the Dusk Rose, Resplendent Angel, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. I feel like Teferi is dropping mostly because of Secret Lairs, but we'll have a quick look and see. He has been dropping since June 2021, and I think the Secret Lairs got announced around about that time, so he is just consistently dropping pretty much, and I'm not too sure where he's going to actually flatline at this point. But assuming you got the Secret Lairs, he is still worth it because that Secret Lairs is by itself $31. So we'll see how that goes. And Badlands, no change really for the last couple of days, flatlining. And same thing with Bayou. I did say that next week is going to be very interesting because we have a Golden Cross on the US dollar and a Death Cross for a lot of other currencies to the US dollar. So we'll see if the US dollar gains strength or if it's a fake out and drops back down, because that'll really showcase or capture what's going to happen in the markets over the next couple of weeks. Anyways, guys, thanks again for watching and have a good one. See ya.